You are listening to The World As I See It podcast. 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 As I See It.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The World As I See It podcast. So, this show is all about sharing perspective as someone who is completely blind. And I've noticed that when someone who does not know me at all approach, they get so nervous and worried about saying the right thing, doing the right thing, being scared that they're going to offend me. And they forget the thing that matters. Just talk to me like I am a normal person. Just because my eyes don't work, it doesn't mean that I can't have a conversation with you. And just because I'm blind, don't treat me differently because of that fact. And before we dive in, I want to be super clear. This episode, it's not meant to offend anybody or call anybody out. My goal is to simply share my perspective and hopefully make our next conversation a lot easier. So here are the 3 simple do's and the 3 essential don'ts when interacting with me. Do introduce yourself first and use my name if you know me when you're talking to me. So this is the most important thing, because if I don't know you or I don't know you well enough, an unidentified voice creates an immediate problem. It's like some people, they have to put a face with a name. I have to put a name with a voice. Because if you just start talking to me and don't say who you are, my brain's like, who is this person? What? I don't know their name. What if I guess their name wrong the next time they talk to me? I hope I recognize them. That's what goes through my mind. And it's that uncertainty. And it makes my brain think harder when I'm trying to remember, okay, I've heard this voice, but who is it? I can't remember if they told me their name or not. So if you are somebody that I know well and I see you every day, I recognize your voice. But for people that I don't know very well yet, just weave your name into the conversation. Like when you walk up to me, say, hey, it's your name. And that way, I know exactly who it is. And that instantly clears up the confusion. And we can just continue the conversation. And it's also good when you introduce yourself. Like when you say my name, you say, hey, and then you say my name so that I know that you want me to answer the question. Because there have been times where they have not said my name and they've asked me a question, but I don't know that they've wanted me to answer the question. And then there have been times where I thought that they wanted me to answer the question when really it was somebody else. So it goes both ways. So that's why I always like when you introduce yourself when you are talking to me. Next, do talk directly to me. Now, if you know me, you know that this is my biggest pet peeve right here. If you have a question for me, please look at me and ask me. It's that simple. I have had so many frustrating moments where I will be at a restaurant or I will be standing right there with my friends or family, and someone will talk, they'll walk up and ask them a question about me. They'll say something like, what does she want for dinner? Or does she need help with that? It's as if I'm suddenly became invisible. I'm standing right here and I can hear you. I can talk. And listen, I know that people, they're trying to be cautious. But if you have a question for me, ask me directly. The best way to be polite is to treat me exactly like you would treat the friend standing next to me. I promise you, you are not going to offend me if you ask me something about my blindness. Last do. Ask me what I prefer. So if you are just super nervous about helping me, or you don't know what the best way to handle the situation, please just remember this. Just walk up to me and be honest about it. Don't be awkward. Just ask. I promise you, I will not be offended if you come up to me and say, "Hey, I'm your name, and can I guide you today?" Or, "Hey, do you need help?" Or, "Hey, would you like to be guided or helped? And if so, how can I help you?" And I prefer to be guided with me holding onto your elbow. But the absolute best way to interact with me is to just ask me what I prefer in that moment. Because everyone is different, and I am the expert on my needs. And showing me that you care enough to ask for the right information is one of the respectful things that you can do. Now, the don'ts. Avoid these awkward moments. Don't play the guess who. And this is a big one. Please don't walk up to me and say, "Guess who this is?" Or, "Do you know who this is?" I'm telling you, it's awkward. And honestly, it makes me super nervous, because then I feel like I'm under pressure to perform, and what if I get your name wrong? That's embarrassing for the both of us, especially for me, because if you want to talk, just say your name. Because people will walk up to me that I know and they'll be like, "Hey, do you know who this is?" And it's hard because I may not know your voice every day. And it's just kind of rude. It just makes me feel awkward and under pressure. Next, don't whisper or talk around me. So, as I mentioned, please don't whisper to my friend or my family member and ask, "Is it okay if I meet her or talk to her?" I just want y'all to know I can hear the whispers. I can hear the double takes. And it instantly makes the moment 10 times more awkward. And another thing, and I will cover this more deeply in a future episode, but definitely don't try to be discreet by avoiding all visual words. Because it's totally fine to say, "I see what you mean," or "Did you watch that movie?" Because it's a normal part of conversation. And I haven't had it a lot, but I will be talking to somebody and they will be like, "Did you listen to that movie?" And that is just super awkward to say. And no, it's more than me just listening. But again, I will cover that in the next 2 or 3 episodes. So be looking for that. And lastly, don't touch or grab me without warning. So if you're guiding me, the best way is to offer me your elbow. That way I can walk a half a step behind you and I can follow your movements. But don't just grab my arm or push me in a certain direction or grab my cane without saying a word, because that takes away my control and it is extremely disorienting. And it can also be dangerous. So, the only thing that truly matters is your intent. If you walk up to me with confidence and kindness, and if you treat me exactly like you would treat anyone else, we'll have a great conversation. And if you're nervous because you don't know how to interact around me, just ask. And I will not be offended by that. I want to hear from you. What is the one thing you've always been too nervous to ask about interacting with a blind person? My email is theworldasiseeitpodcast@gmail.com. I'm truly excited to read what you send in. Thank you so much for listening, and this has been The World as I See It. Stay curious and keep listening.
You've been listening to The World as I See It podcast.